last few years, we've been doing lots of road trips as a family, primarily in the spring and in the summer. And we'd overland through France, into Spain and into Portugal, try and find wilderness and get off the beaten track, go wild swimming and surfing and down to the beach. And we'd spend most of the time camping, and we'd carry our surfboards and inflatable kayaks and all the things that we would need. We were wondering to ourselves, should we not be doing these trips in a campervan or a motorhome? So actually I bought a motorhome and refurbished it, but it turned out to be a little bit too retro for the family's tastes. It also didn't have seat belts in the back, which is a problem with kids when you're doing longer trips. So we decided that what we really needed was something as versatile, that had a high roof, long wheelbase, and preferably 4x4. And what we landed up getting was two of those three things. We managed to get the high top and the long wheelbase, but not the 4x4. But what we've got, we think we'll be able to turn into a very versatile adventure wagon, which we'll call the Wonder Wagon.
You may be wondering, why did we choose a VW Transporter T4 high roof? Well, the simple answer is we didn't want a large van to convert into a camper van. Now on the short wheelbase VW T4s, a full width rock and roll bed would effectively mean that we could not have any kitchen at all, which is why we went for the long wheelbase. And we chose a high roof because of the convenience of being able to stand up inside the van, and also because it gave us the option of putting a bed in the roof, as well as giving us the space to store surfboards. Now the factory high roof VW T4 long wheelbase has these great big doors at the back, which makes it very convenient to load things into the roof space. A high top converted T4 has the lower barn doors or tailgate, which makes it more difficult then to get things loaded up into the roof. So that is why we went for a T4 long wheelbase factory high roof. When we first purchased it, it was fitted with 19-inch low profile wheels. It had been lowered on a lowering kit, and it had basically been set up for street use, which didn't suit our plans at all. We found a set of wheels off another T4. They were blue, and I refurbished them in anthracite grey, and they looked the business on the van. What we did was remove the lowered suspension and replace that with Sachs HD heavy duty springs and dampers front and rear, and wind up the torsion bar on the front, so that we had a slightly raised van, which gave us more ground clearance for off-road driving. When I first drove the van back from Norfolk, it was apparent that the gear linkage was not working right. I took the van to a local VW independent specialist who replaced all of the bushes in the gear linkage, but because the linkage had obviously been unrepaired for some time, it had introduced a problem with second gear. I had the gearbox rebuilt by a local transmission specialist who had worked on V-dubs before, and I also used the opportunity to replace the dual mass flywheel and clutch, as well as do what is called the fifth gear mod. We went for the 0.64 fifth gear mod on the van, and it cruises incredibly comfortably. Welcome to the adventures of the Wonder Wagon.